Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hope you guys have been trading well. What's going on, Jacob? What's going on, Giant? What's going on, Michael? What's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a great trading day out there. Hope you guys have been trading well. I'm just getting everything set up here. All right, cool. What's going on, Barry Free? All right, we're going to go change documents. 13.5K right there. Cool. We're going to go day 509, and then we're going to go, today is plus 13.5K. 119. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. Click the icon later for making new videos. I'm going to post this on social media quick here. Alright, I'm live going over today's trading day. Up 13.5K. Cool. There's that, there's that, there's that. All right, guys. Just getting everything set up. Hopefully you guys had a good trading out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. Like I said, I'm just setting everything up. Give me a moment. I'm just about done here. Give me about 20 more seconds and I'll be ready to go. Okay, there's this. I'm live going over today's trading day. Okay, the big runners were DWAC. And we had BBIG. We had SBEV. GMBD. And we can do Peloton as well. Alright, cool. What's going on, Brittany Arts? What's going on, A-Touch? FS, what's up? Alright. So, let's go ahead and go over today's trading day, okay? Alright. So we're live. Cool. Alright. Those of you guys who haven't seen Michi, she's here. Everybody say hi. Yeah, I shorted BBIG today. Made a lot of mistakes in the morning. Got myself down in a big hole. Really proud of myself for digging back. But I'm going to go ahead and give it about 25 more seconds for people to come on in. Alrighty, guys. Alan, what's going on, Steve Austin? What is going on? Who's up? Dawes, Seth, Abby, Bruce. What's going on, guys? Alrighty, guys. So, we're just going to go over today's trading day. Like I said, today was an awesome day. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, today had some volatility with BBIG, GMVD. You know, we had quite some volatility today. We had IMT, which on 10 days in a row, green days. Still going after hours, still making new highs, which is nuts. SBEV. So, let's go ahead and go over today's trading day, okay? So, first trade of the day, BBIG. We tried to take a short on it, and we ended up covering it. You know, pretty much dead top. What was it? 5.9. Yeah, so was that really the high? Let's look. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. Phew. So we covered into this pop thinking we might get a rerun. I wanted to kind of see a clear setup. And once I saw this fail in here, I started to see the higher lows and the volume start to fail. And I started really hammering. You can see right here, I'm hammering short here. And then all in here, you can see me hammering short. And, you know, I screwed up the first trade. I know I was short yesterday. What's going on, Eldrin? But, you know, today, obviously, you know, I was short this one yesterday, and I got a kind of a feeler of how it moves. I was in a meeting all day yesterday. Lost about $4,500 on it short. The only real conviction trade I had today was this. And it's like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days in a row. Look at the volume having to churn to make this thing go up, right? I mean, there's so much volume for this thing to go up. Not only that, but I don't believe there's any news on this thing. It's just kind of a miscellaneous run here. And, when it takes that much volume to move this thing, and it's up that much on 6 green days in a row in a slower market, I'm going to get short biased every time. You guys are going to see me open up with the shorting side of things this year as well, too, so I'm really excited about that. Last year we lost a little bit on GameStop, but we learned a lot from the short side to understand how things work. If you can go long and short, then you're going to be an awesome trader. So shorted this one right in here with the volume weakness. This thing was cracking down. The time and sales started to shift. It just looked different to me on the level 2 as well. Started to hammer this thing short. You can see here. Hammered it, right? All short. And then I covered a little bit, tiny pieces in here, a lot in here, and the rest in here. One thing I will say with the $61,000 trade that I made on the short side is, what's going on, Coffee Kid? One thing I will say about the short trade here, I will say, on the short side, I fumbled this one. I wanted to cover under 4. So literally, I had about 23,000 shares right here. And I meant to cover. Well, believe it or not, I was in the shower trying to cover this thing. I was on the app, and I said, if I get under 4, I bring my phone in the shower real quick. And I was like, if we get under 4, I'm going to cover. And I started to see this thing slide. And I said, under 4, I'm covering. So what happened was, it ended up shorting me 23,000 shares. So I ended up getting filled. For some reason, I shorted another 23,000 shares. I don't know how it happened, but I was on the app. And I tried to short it down in here, or I tried to cover it right under 4, slammed under 4, and immediately I tried to cover at the $4 on the ask, and literally it filled me short, another 23,000 shares, and I had to cover immediately. Luckily, I got out right at the 407 range, so it kind of screwed up my trade. I probably would have made at least another 4,000 on the name. But overall, I'm super excited. I'm super happy about that trade. I got a little aggressive with this trade, and I know that. The first dump, the real dump was right here. I could have covered a little bit more into that. But I really like the setup on this, so I ended up holding it a little longer. Okay, I was covering pieces into here. I covered some more pieces into here, so I was taking some risk off the table into the flushes, which is what I was happy about. In reality, a better way I could have traded this was to cover the flushes and add some of the perks. And I did, instead I didn't cover, I covered very, very, very tiny right there, right in here. And then I did add some at 457 and 463s and the 64s, but I never covered a whole lot. So I wasn't really trading around a core. And then I started to get some shares off into here. I took like 20,000 shares off, or 30,000 shares off, 40,000 shares off, somewhere in there. And then I took like the rest of my 23,000 shares in there. So, and then this thing recovered all the way back up to 480. And I almost reshorted this thing. I saw 480 on the ask, or on the bid. And it was a huge bid. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just walk away with today. I don't want to get too befumbled. I know I had a big amount of size on this. And what happens when I have a big amount of size as a trader is I can start to force things and really just screw up the day. So, I screwed up the morning, and then I could have screwed up the rest of the day. Luckily, this BBIG trade set up perfectly, was able to take $61,400 from the name, and that was it. But, at the end of the day, I nailed this trade, and then if I wouldn't have covered, I could be down, on this trade. I could be down on this trade with the reality of things. So, covered it up here, and then this thing perked another 80 cents from the lows within an hour and a half. So there was an opportunity even on the long side, which I know when you get a stock that's volatile with that much liquidity, there's going to be opportunities in range, and that's what I look for as a trader. And that's what I'm focusing on in 2022, guys. I need to get back to the basics. I need to be okay with taking, losses, small losses. I need to be sizing down, and I also need to get back to focusing up on the lead liquidity, the lead volatility runners on the day. Like DWAC, like GMVD, IMTE, which is, IMTE kind of, it's lower liquidity, but still got some solid range. BBIG was the main one because it has the most liquidity and a solid amount of range on it. So, I got to get back to that. And that's something that I really realized over the past couple of days. That's how I used to trade. I just come to the market. I look for the lead liquidity runner, the lead ADR runner, average daily range, and just try and get myself into a position where I feel confident short or long on the name. And there's going to be opportunity there. So, what's a realistic amount to start trading with? I started with $1,171 on this account challenge, and now we're over 17 million. So I don't think there's what I always tell myself and tell other people is I start small, and that way I give myself a couple of chances to blow up. And if I blow up, I can come back. If you start big and you blow up, you're going to end up screwing yourself over because if you blow up, you're not going to come back. And I think that's a part of the reason why traders fail. There's a lot of reasons why traders fail, but that's one of them. Okay? So, really happy about my trade to come back red to green on the day. Was down. I got my account down to like 185,000 now, but we closed out today about 250,000 on the account, which is awesome. And, that's really it, So, I got to get myself back in the lead liquidity, the lead volatility, and just play the range short and long on it, and I should be okay. Any other questions, guys? I'm not gonna go over too much more. I gotta work out, and then I got a meeting to attend. So, hopefully you guys are learning something today. What are some books you recommend? Well, these are the books that I have currently. 100 to 1 in the stock market, and then 100 baggers. Both of those books. I use those for more longer term stuff though. But it talks about the most volatile long term stocks in history. Jacob, you're welcome. How to trade zero? You need 2,500 minutes. Yeah, trade zero. Yeah, you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. They keep lowering it, but you can use a different brokerage. I switched from. I think I started on Thinkorswim, then I moved to E-Trade, and then I moved over to Trade Zero. So Trade Zero has been awesome to me. They have a lot of shares short that are awesome, and today was a great opportunity for me to get some shares pretty cheap on BBIG. The only problem was I couldn't sell them back, which is frustrating because the stock that's that liquid, I should be able to sell this back, but didn't get anything off, and so I believe I paid like $3,000 for the borrows, but I could have sold them for like $500 in exchange, but no one wanted the shares. So anybody who wants BBIG shares short, I have them. I'm selling them right now on Trade Zero. So, but no, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this tomorrow. If it resets up, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. How do you recover your mind after big losses? Bruce W. Experience, time, being in the trenches, knowing things are volatile, knowing you're in a range-bound stock. Those are all things that you have to be aware of when you're trading. So, when you first started, how long did you start realizing gains? I don't know what that means. It took me about a year full-time of studying. Do you have any watch lists for tomorrow? Not really. When are you going live? I am live. Alrighty, guys, that's really all I have. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade your own risk. I plan a process strategy. Free chat. Links below. My course. My process. Links below. Brokers that I use all links below. Brokers should be stock valued at $1,400. Scanner software code. I use CAN15. 50% off. Scanner settings I use. All in the links description below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Click the icon later for making the videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. The outside Pixie, yeah, I'm watching them going into tomorrow for sure. What's going on, Sign Cap? What's going on, Matt Green? All right, guys, that's really all I have today. I appreciate you guys for subscribing to NormackNoTrading.com community. Cheers, team. And